Ava, I am so excited about this conversation. I am obsessed with your energy and your intention around this conversation and the catalyst for the conversation. So, thank you so much for being here.
I am so grateful and so excited to be here, and the work that you are doing is amazing. Thank you for having me. I truly appreciate you.
It's my pleasure. We are just saying yes to ourselves in big and small ways, and
That
it
is
feels
so
so
awesome.
good.
Yes, it does feel good. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's so interesting. I I want so much to normalize that word that and that practice of saying yes to ourselves and the realization and reminder that everybody wins when we do that. It's not that a yes to me is a no to you or a no to my kids or a no to my boss or whatever. It's a yes for all of us because you'll have a better time if I'm showing up in my yes. My employer will have a better time, my children, my other relationships, if you're married, like all of your partner, everyone's going to win. The
Yes,
poor lady at the grocery store, she really needs me to be in my yes.
yes, yes,
So,
I agree.
yeah, so please tell us, how are you saying yes to yourself in this season?
Oh, thank you so much for asking me that. That is such a powerful question, and it is something that I've been spending a lot of time with lately. And it's such a powerful reminder for all of us to say yes, to remember who we are. That's it. Just remember who you are. When you say yes to that, you are saying yes to living to be the highest version of yourself. That's what you're saying yes to. But most of us don't realize it because we don't understand the concept, because we don't talk about it enough, Wendy.
Right. And I think sometimes we say yes to who we are or who we've been. But what happens when we say yes to the person we're becoming?
Yes. That's it. Because then you start to think differently, you start to act differently. But again, it's not something that we talk about, right? Because we have been so positioned, right, to live according to how society, our family, and our friends say we should live,
Right.
right?
I
So to
agree.
say yes to being the highest version of yourself, or to say yes to being the essence of who you truly are, we don't understand that. And a lot of us think it's selfish because
Mhm.
we've been taught that.
Right. And it's so interesting as well because often the pushback we get from someone calling us selfish
Mhm.
would prefer that we meet their needs and desires instead of ours, which doesn't that sound selfish of them?
Oh, of course, but people don't look at it that way. See,
Right.
that's why so I'm gonna shift a little bit. That's why I think values are so important, knowing
Yes.
what's important to you, because if you don't make decisions and choices based on what's important to you, other people make them for you, and you become who they want you to be. So,
Right.
and that's selfish. Absolutely.
And it's a moving target because they
Yeah.
change their mind and we're not in there. So I love this reframe and this invitation to identify the values. And I think it also requires such pause and presence because, like I said earlier, we sometimes we're saying yes from the place we are now, but we're actually wanting to improve the place we are. So our yes needs to be from our future self, which that takes some practice and change of habits in the words we speak to each other and to ourselves, but also this reminder that we get to course correct. And when I say I want risotto for dinner, it doesn't mean I want to eat risotto for the rest of my life or even every day for this year or even every day for this week. It's I get to change what I want for dinner, and I get to change what I want or need in each moment. And when I'm remembering that I'm not only the person with the information of what I need, but I'm also the person with the tools to provide what I need, that it's not, I'm not a moving target for all the people that are trying to please me because I'm not requiring them to please me. I'm pleasing me.
Right. And that's what saying yes is.
Right.
Exactly. That's what
Hmm.
saying yes is understanding what's important to you and making decisions and choices based on that, right?
Yeah.
Because most of us, again, we are conditioned to behave a certain way. We're conditioned to look a certain way. We're conditioned to respond a certain way. And when we get to the point where we want to focus on being the true essence of who we are, right? A lot of people cannot comprehend that. But
Mhm.
that's when you start to say yes. In my opinion, that's when you start to live from a different place in a different space.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And those, I mean, obviously I don't want to talk about this all day long, but I could. But what's coming up for me is a reminder of a post I made on Instagram back in, I don't know, October of last year.
Mhm.
And I posted this picture of my daughter and I. She was 11. We were standing on the property that neighbors our farm that I had just purchased. My divorce was just final. Just felt I felt so in tune with myself, but when I looked at the photo, I saw with my eyes what I was feeling on the inside too. I looked empowered. I looked strong. Amelia looked empowered and strong. I loved in the photo, we're not even looking in the same direction as each other. And I loved that. But as I was writing the caption for this, I was listing what this photo meant to me of how long I waited to be her mother, 24 Mother's Days without a baby in my house. And then we adopted her from China. And I was in California and wanted to live in Massachusetts. And now here I am. And I wanted this beautiful house, and my ex husband didn't. So he is now my ex husband. And I wanted this property. And I manifested the money, my own effing money, is what I said in the caption, to do this, and listed a bunch of things. And I got a comment from a woman who I knew whatever 20 years ago in California when I was just the girl with all the dreams, not the girl who had them. And she commented, "You lost me at effing." And I put F apostrophe ing. I didn't even say the word.
Right.
And
Right.
when I read that, I was like, oh, that's so fascinating, because
Yeah.
that's where I felt like I found my voice when I
Right.
said that. And I lost her, and I was like, oh, well, that would be a total bummer if you
Yeah.
were the person I was trying to connect or gain, but I was trying to connect and gain with me. So just to bring it back to what you said about other people might not be on board with our yes, and
Yes.
that has nothing to do with us or our yes. There is never a crowd on the edge, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
where I want to be.
Yeah. And you know what? It's so amazing because what happened is you stopped shrinking,
Yeah.
right? You stopped shrinking and you allowed your light to shine. So when you saw that picture, you felt it. It was in every part of your being. And I see it in you as we speak now. I can see the glow. I can see you beaming. You are allowing your light to shine. And what's so amazing about this, and I thank you because you're sharing it. You're bringing women like myself and other people into it. You are putting the spotlight on us so we can allow our light to shine. And that's what's amazing is that when we stop shrinking, right? And
Mhm.
when we stop seeking validation, right? When we allow our light to shine, we give others permission to do the same. And that's how we rise together as a community. And I feel your energy. So thank you for being
Mm,
obedient to yourself and saying yes to who you are.
preach it, queen. I love it. Oh my gosh. And it's true when what you just said, shining a spotlight, that's what I want to do, right?
Yes.
But if I don't shine a light, I can't point it to anybody else.
Right. If you're not being the version of yourself that you were meant to be, right? How can you help other people? And that's what's so powerful, what a lot of us don't understand. Saying yes to ourselves, we're giving other people, other women permission to say yes. And we are so strong. We just don't realize it. But when we all say yes and stand together, men, you better get behind because we're running it as it is, right?
Right.
We're
And
just
don't
not doing
worry.
it outwardly
Right.
as
It's a
strong as we
tsunami of
could be.
love. It's a
Yes,
tsunami of love. It
yes.
doesn't even hurt when it gets on you. So don't worry, but please get out of the way.
Yes, that's it. That's it. It's
Everyone needs
amazing.
to head for higher ground because the
Yes.
tsunami of love is coming.
Yeah. But I am so glad that and so grateful that you said yes
Mm.
to everything that had been placed on your heart, everything that you wanted, because now you're making such a significant difference for so many women and so many people like myself.
You're so great. Thank you so much. I receive all of that. That's so
Yes.
unexpected and it's beautiful. Thank you. And it multiplies my joy.
Yes.
I'm feeling your energy, you're feeling mine. Our listeners are like, yes, let's do this. Oh my gosh. And I think what's so fun too is that I'm also working on something very, very big and audacious and effing fabulous right now. And that's the beauty is that the yes, it's not a one and done. It is, we are creative beings. We are made in the image of our creator. So we get to be satisfied with what is and eager for more. And I have a million ideas coming, and I'll have 47 addresses under my name as I am a land baroness. And like, we're just doing this. It's so good.
But isn't it amazing though, when you get to that point in your life, when you can say yes and you understand this whole remembering who I am and saying yes, that you create your own experiences, right? And you start living from that place, right?
Yes.
Instead of thinking about how am I going to achieve it, start living like you've already achieved it. And it's
Yes.
such a different place and it's a different space. It's a different way of living and thinking, but it's freedom.
Yes, and ease. I was just listening right before I got on this call with you to Abraham Hicks, and they were
Mm,
talking about like, don't seek out the path. Line up your energy, and the path will appear underneath your feet.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
that.
alignment. Once you are aligned, and
Yes.
here's the other thing that's so powerful too, and you touched on this a little bit. What we don't realize is that we have the power within to do whatever it is we want to do. So that
Mhm.
woman who said you lost me at effing, I'm so glad you didn't try to hold on to her because we try to hold on to people, places, and things that no longer serve us.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I don't, I mean, I understand why we do it because we've been conditioned to do it,
right.
but that I feel like that is an appropriate quote unquote excuse if you're not consciously aware. But everyone that's listening is now consciously aware. So
Right.
let's just stop doing that. And if you're about to say yes to something that everything in your body says, I don't want to do that, but I guess I will. I do have the space on my calendar. I'm already going to be in the school pickup line anyway, or whatever the thing is. If you don't want to do something, you get to say no. And when you want to do something, you get to say yes. Both of those answers are empowered when they are embodied.
Yes, yes. And it's called really just living in alignment with the true essence of who you truly are, the highest version of yourself. That's it. You're just
Yeah.
living in alignment. And when you run into situations and people that are not aligned with you, that's okay.
Yeah.
because they're entitled to it. But what you don't get to do, you don't get to project that type of energy on me. Because that's not, I mean, and for anyone that's listening, and I mean this with all due respect and love, if you are the type of person that project that type of negative energy on someone else, I ask you, and I say this with so much respect and love, to take a look at yourself. What is it that you are accomplishing? What is it cause? What's within you that's causing you to do this?
Yeah.
Because you deserve so much more. So if you're doing this, if you're the one, know that you deserve more.
Right. And
Yeah.
if you feel like that's you and you don't know the answer to that, then pause this right now and DM Ava and I, and we will help you work through this. Like,
Yeah.
we're not just saying, oh, you can be and do and have anything you want and just look at us, look at it. No, we're saying, come with us.
Yes.
Come
That's
with us. We are doing this in real time. It is when we say the highest and best version of ourselves, it sounds ambiguous, but it's because it's not one thing. It is constantly moving and shifting and growing and expanding in freedom and joy. And I don't know what it is until I'm, presented with a decision, and then I make the right decision.
yeah.
And maybe this person was in alignment for me at one point, but now we're not. And it's
Right.
a total double blessing.
Yeah. And here's the thing too, what I want your listeners to know is when I say living from a higher version of yourself is whatever it is that you want to achieve, whatever it is that's been placed on your heart, start living like you've already achieved it. Now, here's what I want your listeners to know. Does it mean life gets easier? Most definitely not, right? Does it mean that the breadcrumbs are going to be handed to you? You will be
Right.
fed, but you will be fed to the extent that through trials and tribulations and challenges like everything else, but I call them growth opportunities. So
Totally.
you will be fed growth opportunities. So does it get easy? Most definitely not. So we're not sitting here speaking, saying when you say yes to yourself, that life gets easier. You start thinking differently,
Right. Right.
right?
It's
And
the
that's
right kind of hard.
right. And that's what brings you the peace and joy because you're no longer living from a place of fear and resistance. And that's the space most of us live from. But you start living from a place of grace and gratitude.
Yes.
Is
And
love.
yes. So you're the deliberate creator of your
Yes,
experience rather than creating by default.
that's it. Exactly. So you're making
Mm,
decisions and choices based on the person that you are becoming, not from the person, not the person for where you came from. You know,
yes.
did I say
Yes.
does that make sense?
Perfect sense.
Okay.
It's so good. And
Yeah.
there's so much grace and awareness and inspiration in those conversations you're having with yourself. I do that in my journal. I'm a journaler.
Mhm.
And I love those opportunities to ask myself, what do we want? What do we want out of today? What feels in alignment? Where am I going? Especially at these beautiful, I love all beginnings, but I
Mhm.
love the beginning of the year. And I love that we have this amazing choice. And this year, I'm not sure if I am astro curious, so I am far from an expert in any of this stuff, but I was looking at my daughter's Chinese. So I was looking at the Chinese zodiac, and this is 2026 is the year of the horse. But interestingly enough, it is the year of the fire horse because it is a more rare, I'm looking it up. Um, it started on January 17th. It's the year of the fire horse. This is the next time the horse appears in the Chinese zodiac, which is a 12-year cycle. But the fire horse year is associated with intense energy, passion, and the spirit of adventure. It has not happened since 1966. That
Wow.
was the last time that it was the year of the fire horse. But this year is seen as a time for bold moves, taking calculated risks, and pursuing passions with courage. It's a period for progress and momentum where it's beneficial to clear out old energy and declutter. The combination of the horse's energy and the fire element can lead to a year of intense passion and a lack of compromise.
Mm. When you were reading, I wrote the word action down.
Yeah.
2026 is the year of action. I call it the elevation era.
Say more.
Yeah, I call it the elevation era. It's when you really start to remember who you are and start living from that place and space. So
Mhm.
many of us look externally, right, for answers, and we have all the answers inwardly.
Mhm.
So I call the elevation era 2026 is when you start to live from that place of internally, right?
Yes.
That's it. So no tapping into the person within and living from that place in that space.
Oh, it's so gorgeous. And I love that word, elevation.
Yeah. And it's just remembering who you are. That's it. It's changing your way of thinking.
Yes.
It's
And
changing your way of thinking. So elevation um 2026. And one of the things that you touched on just a minute ago, and it starts with clarity, knowing what you
mm,
want. But here's the biggest, biggest point that I always stress: to thy own self be true.
mm,
You have to be honest with yourself. So many of us want so much more, but we're
right.
not even honest with ourselves. Far too often, we've even suppressed our biggest desires,
Hmm.
right? Fear has paralyzed us. And that happened to me. But you have to be absolutely honest with yourself.
Mm. Are you willing to share what your process was?
It's funny because I became a certified life coach in 2015 after having a successful 29-year career. I walked away from it. I am a breast cancer survivor twice. And then
Mm,
I started seeking my life purpose. But here's what happened. In 2025, I finally admitted to myself that I wanted to be an empowerment speaker. Now, I have been working with women all along. I've written inspirational books, I do workshops. And back in 1995, and this is a true story, I was at a meeting, was out west, and the person sitting across the room from me wrote on a piece of paper and passed the note. And I could tell by the movement of his hands that he wrote Eva. So he passed the note to the guy next to him. They looked at each other. The guy folded the note. After the meeting, he left the note on the table. I ran back in my VP, she was petrified because she didn't know what the note said. It said, Eva preaches to us. What I didn't realize, that had silenced my voice. I knew I wanted to be an empowerment speaker, but I never said it out loud because I didn't want to come across preachy.
mm.
And
Isn't
it,
that interesting? And I said, preach, queen, with such enthusiasm because I want to hear what is in your heart.
and now I embody it.
Yeah.
All that time from 1995 to 2025. And here's the thing: one day, I had this fear that came over me. And because I do this work, I recognize when my emotions change immediately. Reached out to my friends, no one was there. So I had to sit and be with myself. That little still small voice within said, you've done everything except one thing. And I said,
Mm,
you have yet to announce you're an empowerment speaker. And I yelled it out loud. And ever since then, see, this is saying yes to the essence of who you already are, remembering who you are. That desire, that vision had been placed on my heart, but I had suppressed it.
right.
And ever since I said yes, I've been walking in alignment. Doors have been opening.
Mm.
Doors have been opening, right?
It's so gorgeous, and
Yes.
I love oh my gosh, I have so many things. So, it's fascinating the things that we allow to take us out of the game,
Yes.
right? Like those guys in whatever nonsense, bro thing they had going on that Eva preaches to us as if it's derogatory.
That's how I took it,
Well,
right?
right. Of course, that's
Yeah.
how I think it was intended. Yet
Yes.
when they go to church on Sunday and that guy's preaching to them, they think that's inspired, but you preaching is nagging or being bossy. What I mean, it's so lame.
Right.
Whatever they think. I can't even go into their mind. I mean, I cannot go into their mind, but when I try, it's really irritating. But I think it's so fascinating how something like that that you obviously telling me, I'm like, forget them. They're
Yeah.
scared and lame, but we don't say anything. So then that loop, that tape is playing uncensored and on repeat for 30 years, which when you say it out loud to an empowered woman, they're going to say, forget those guys. Like, what? Whatever. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to put that on my business card. Eva preaches. That's right. Here
Yeah.
we go.
That's so
Sign me up.
today. Yes,
Right?
that's my style. That's
Right?
who I am.
Will you bring it? And
Yes.
that is what you should be doing. But I think it's so amazing how just these one sentences, it happened to me a few months back. Also, I've told this story on the podcast, but my friend Sharon is a women's empowerment coach, among a thousand other fabulous things that she is. But she helps women define what their next chapter is going to look like. And then she has a degree in interior design from UCLA. So then she comes to your house and reimagines the rooms
Oh,
that
wow.
support the woman you're becoming.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. So she came for a week. She touched every room in my house, and one of them was my bedroom. And I had this giant solid wood framed bed that my ex-husband built. And as he was building it and moving it upstairs, it was so heavy. And he was saying, like, this bed's never leaving this room. Like, if we ever sell this house, the bed comes with the house. Like, this is it. It can't be taken apart. And so I was like, oh, okay, like good girl. Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that then fast forward 10 years later when he doesn't even live here anymore because we're divorced. And she asked me, she's like, oh, say more about this room. Is it, do you like the bed? Do you like these lamps? I was like, oh, yeah, the bed can't go anywhere. Keith built it. And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, he built it. It's really heavy and it can't be taken apart. And she was like, honey, that doesn't even make sense. If he put it together, why do you think it can't be taken apart? And I was like, oh, because he said so. She was like, he's not even here. I was like, what? I don't have to sleep in a bed that my ex-husband built? Like, what? What? Tell
Right.
me of this magic land you speak of. It was so ludicrous that I was holding on to that, but it had never been questioned and it had never been spoken outside of my body. So I
Right.
couldn't even recognize how absolutely ridiculous that was.
Okay.
And now I'm free. And I have a beautiful upholstered bed that's soft and lovely and inviting and yummy.
See, you said yes.
Yes, I did.
But see, this is what's so amazing, and this is why I share this, because most of us are holding on to things that we don't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, I had not declared I'm an empowerment speaker. Now, every time I walk on the stage, the first thing I say is that I'm an empowerment speaker. I'm free. I say yes. And because I've said yes, opportunities are opening. I'm moving
Yes.
in alignment. So, to every person that's listening, to everyone that said something to you that um, allowed you or said something to you where you buried your desires because you didn't think you were good enough or you didn't think you could achieve it. Now is the time to say yes to whatever it is you want. It is 2026. It's the elevation era. You can have, be, and do anything you want. And people say, well, how can you say that? Because the only limitations we have is in the choices we make, period.
That's right.
That's it.
That's right. Freedom is a decision away.
Yes. So
Oh,
that's interesting. So how does it feel to get rid of that bed?
mm,
That's what I want to know.
so good. It felt really good when I put it on Facebook Marketplace and then someone came and bought it and then took it away. So I didn't even have to worry about how to get rid of it.
Yes.
And they were so delighted because it's really well made.
Yeah.
And it felt really good for the
Yeah.
big ass bed to leave the building.
There you go. You just open up more space,
Gosh, I had
right?
no
And you invite
idea.
other people into your energy because you're serving right now. You are definitely serving,
Right
right?
back at you, Queen.
Yes. So now you've just opened up yourself,
Yeah,
your heart, and everything, the
right?
energy to flow even more freely.
Yes, and just the same to you when you get on that stage and the first things you say in a bold, strong, empowered voice, I am an empowerment speaker, arms wide, and I am free. When you
Yes.
said that, I got chills. I felt free. Your yes empowers everyone in earshot. And that
Yes.
is not just true for you and not just true for my yes. It's everyone that is listening. Your yes has ripple effects that you can see, and then some you will never see.
Right. And you know, here's one other thing I just want your listeners to understand too. Once you say yes, your energy level increases. It's amazing. Once you say yes, like when I get up every day, I'm excited. Like, oh my God, what am I going to learn today? What are we going to do today? But that level of energy, it increases to the extent where that's where you reach and start to live from a place of peace and joy.
Yes. Yes. When you don't put on that backpack that's full of
Yes.
boulders every day and then
Yes.
complain about how hard it is to carry it.
Yeah. You just have to get up every day and make the decision to say yes. Here's the other key piece, though. This is such an important piece. You have to surrender the outcome
Mm-hmm.
because see,
Which
that's what,
sounds scary, but
yes,
it's so much easier.
right. Yeah.
It's so much. Oh my gosh, there are things, some things I have to hear a few times before they really get in there. Like I'll know that sounds important, but I don't quite get it. And then there are some things I only have to hear it one time and I'm like, check. And the one thing that I heard when I started this personal development spiritual journey 6 years ago now, my coach, Gina DeVee, said, the how is not your responsibility.
That's it.
And I was like, amen, sister.
Yeah.
I write that one down. Perfect. Let's
Yeah.
get after this now. And I've, since heard Abraham Hicks also says the how and the what and the why are my responsibility.
Right.
And the
Exactly.
who, the how, and the when, that's on God's to-do list.
You
And I
have
can just
to.
get out of the way and trust that I'm the one that has put everything into my
Mhm.
love bank. And that's what's coming back to me as long as I don't keep pushing the door. Like I've got one hand pushing the door shut while I'm trying to pull the doorknob open. Like that
Right.
doesn't work. Just stop trying to push the door shut
Yeah.
and
You
let
just
it
show
all in.
You just show up every day, be your best, and do your best. And that's what you do. You perform, you be your best, and do your best, and show up your best every single day. That's
Mm,
what you have to do, right?
mm,
And you have to
yes.
believe, you have to have faith, you have to trust, you
Mm-hmm.
have to be intentional, you have to be consistent,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to let go, right?
Right.
You have to trust that life will give you the skills, experiences, um, to will give you the experiences and skills to achieve what it is you desire. You have to trust that.
Right.
And you have to
Right.
start living from that place like I've already achieved it and let go
Yes.
of the outcome.
And how is your practice around that? Do you have a morning routine? Do you just wing it when you get on stage? What kind of practices have you implemented to
Well,
support this?
here's what's so interesting. I've always had this interconnection with my inner being. My friends tell me all the time, they're like, Eva, God talks to you all the time. I said, yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
I talk to him. I said, he talks to you too. You just don't listen.
That's right.
So for instance, let's just take the example when I finally said yes to I'm an empowerment speaker, and then I realized you're stepping into your power.
Mm,
And then I started thinking about how did you get there? Clarity. Number one, I had to say it out loud and be honest with myself, right? Courage. I had to make sure I had the courage, right?
yeah.
To take those necessary steps and be committed to myself and surround myself with the best people.
Hmm.
So that process, stepping into your power, literally led me to Elevation 2026, the elevation era, because now I get it. Now I understand. All I had to do, right, was just look at the person, think about the person I wanted to become, look at
Hmm.
where I am now, fill in the gap, let it go, start thinking that I've already achieved it.
Yes.
So when I get up every single morning, what I do, I read scripture
Hmm.
every morning. And then I have some affirmations that come into my inbox every morning. There are a couple of books that I keep by my bedside that I read, and then I pray, and then I journal. And when I wake up, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to see what's happening today because every day I'm becoming a better version of myself, and my energy's off the chain. I have
Yes.
energy now than I've had in a long time.
Right. I I also have a morning practice and mine starts relatively early at 4:45, and sometimes when I'm telling people that, they're like, "Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm not doing that." Next, how do you even do that? And for me, I go to bed at 8:30, so 4:45 is perfectly reasonable when you go to bed
For
that
you.
early,
Works for
but
you.
also it's the results.
Yeah.
Anything that is hard when you're trying, it's in your new practice, you're creating a new habit, it's the right kind of hard. But once you, even if it's something for your health, once you see that your pants feel better, all of a sudden it's not so hard to get out in the
Yeah.
freezing cold weather and go for a walk because you see the results. It's working. And
Yes.
that's the same thing that happened with my morning practice. I am obsessed with the woman that I've become. And
Yes.
I've been doing it consistently every single day for over 5 years now. And I love it. And sometimes it doesn't happen at 4:45 if I'm leading one of my trips to France and I mean you can't even get a dinner reservation until 8 p.m. So I'm obviously not in bed at 8:30. So I keep my routine but not my schedule.
Yes. That
So
makes sense.
I just make arrangements. I'm not so rigid that I'm missing the point,
Mhm.
but my commitment to myself is real.
Yeah.
And I'm not messing around, and you're not messing around, and everyone is feeling the beautiful side effects of us not messing around.
Yeah. But isn't it a beautiful, beautiful feeling when you start living from a place of love
Yes.
and gratitude and not resisting and fear?
Yes.
Resistance and fear. Isn't it
Yes.
beautiful?
It's unbelievable. I'm a student of A Course in Miracles. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but the premise of the course is there are there's text and then 365 lessons. So when I say I'm a student, it's because I'm on my third time going through it. Once you get to the end, you start over. But the first half of the year is dismantling a thought system based on fear. And the second half of the year is reinstating it with a thought system based on love. And the premise of the course is that only love is real and nothing else exists. So
Yeah.
it's an illusion. So when we can visualize even fear as a dark cloud, you can walk through a cloud. Like it doesn't hurt, it's soft. You can feel it on your cheeks. It's a little bit wet, and then you go through the cloud, and there's the sun shining. Huh, look at that. I made it. But if I'm just standing on the outside of it saying, oh my gosh, this cloud, there's so many clouds. I'm never going to get to what I want because of the clouds. It's like, it's a cloud. Just go through it, move through the fear. Trust that love is the only thing that's real and step into love.
Now, what you just said is so powerful, and I have to just touch on this for a minute. And this is so powerful because this is the other thing that we don't realize. And this is now I can see you clearer, right?
Mm,
When you say love is the only thing that's real, that's all that you're attracting. You don't know anything else. So that's all that you are attracting. And that's why you have the energy you have. That's why you have the impact that you have. That's why you're doing what you do. Think about that. But think
mhm,
about now, so anyone that's listening, think about this. You said love, right? It's the only thing that's real.
mhm.
And that's what you attracting. That's what you embodying because that's who you are. So you can't embody, you can't attract anything else because you're not even allowing your mind to think that
That's right.
there is an alternative.
Right.
But think about this, whoever's listening. There's so many of us that live from a place of fear and resistance. And that's all we are attracting. And
That's
it's
right.
weighing us down. We're exhausted.
Mhm.
We're stuck. We want more. There's the aching in the belly, but we are so not realizing that because we're living from this place of fear, that's what we're attracting. And we
That's
can't
right.
go beyond that until we start to think differently. I love this course. What's the name of the course again? Because I'm not,
A course in miracles.
yes. So that's the key. See, that's all that you know now.
Mhm.
Forget everything that you knew before about fear and love. The only feeling right now, the only thing you're embodying is love, and that's what you're attracting. And that's,
That is correct. And I
yes,
receive that. And it's just true. It's why I love this podcast so much. It's why I love Thursdays because I have four of these high energy conversations in a row. I am not the same woman on Thursday afternoons that I am on Thursday mornings. And I love that for me. And I love that for whoever's listening because it's true. And then we're inviting people into these experiences. I mean, they can come stay at my house. It's a bed and breakfast. They can come to France with me. We can expand on all of these beautiful dreams. I just love holding space for women who are holding space for themselves. And I
wow.
know you also have these stages, are calling these people together. Tell us about the summit. Tell us how the elevation era is sweeping your community and this world with this tsunami of love.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm so grateful that you attracted me into your arena. I appreciate that.
This is being surrendered to the outcome, like you said. It's
Yeah.
not surrendered to the outcome and then you better be happy because it's going to be super crappy. No,
Yeah.
it's going to be legit and it won't be limited to what you know on your own. It's limited to the resources of the universe, which is how you land on my beautiful screen for this beautiful conversation.
Yeah. So just to backtrack really quickly for 1 second, in 2022, 1 million women, 1 million steps was placed on
Yeah.
my heart. So
Wait, I'm sorry. Was based on what?
was placed on my heart. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I
Was
love
placed on
that.
my heart. 1 million women, 1 million steps.
Mm,
So I relaunched my business and rebranded in January of 2025.
okay.
Then I decided it was time for me to launch 1 million women, 1 million steps. And it's 1 million women, 1 million steps. It's all about women being intentional and pushing past obstacles and
Mm,
just taking one bold, intentional step at a time
love it.
to do what it is they desire.
Oh, I
And
love
then I declared that I'm an empowerment speaker. I had attended an event in 2015, and I knew then that I wanted to have an event for women.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is I had planned to do it under someone else's brand.
Mm-hmm.
But God gave me instructions and showed me, no, Eva, it's time for you to do it under your own brand. So the 1 million women, 1 million steps is a movement.
Mm,
And it's really about just getting women to declare, to take one step and then another step and another step. And once you gain momentum, you keep going because that's how transformation begins, one step at a time. So the summit is about really focusing on reminding women who they are,
Mm.
guiding them, giving them tangible, actionable steps that they can take to live from the highest version of themselves. Because here's the thing, and I believe this with all my heart, every woman, and I say woman because I work with women,
Mhm.
but every woman deserves to live an amazing life. But here's the key, she gets to decide what that looks like. And if I can help a woman, right, tap into the person within, because that's where the answers are. If I can help a woman tap into the person within and say yes to herself to become free, that's my purpose, that's my vision, and that's my believe that divine calling.
Mm.
That's it.
It's so gorgeous. And Eva, you said so many beautiful things, but this one concept, this one practice you declared.
Mhm.
That word, I just got chills again. I got it when you said it, and I got them when I said it. It is, I am only available for dot, dot, dot.
Yeah.
I declare dot, dot, dot. And when we make those declarations that aren't, I declare that you will be a better husband. No, no, no. I declare that I will stand in my truth. These declarations, these mantras that we're building for ourselves, mine is I am only available for what delights me. And these declarations are what shape us. They are the future version of ourself whispering in our ear, come
Yes.
this way, queen. This is the road, this is the path, this is the where we're going, and you want to be here, and here's your declaration that's your ticket to that path. I love it so much. Before we close, can you share a practice of how one of our listener, how our listeners can come up with a declaration of their own?
Ooh, first of all, just tap into the person within. That's where all your answers are. Just tap into the person within and ask yourself the question that you've been afraid to ask. Whatever
Mm.
it is you've been afraid to do, whatever it is that you're holding on to, just ask yourself, how do I move past this? Get in the habit of spending time with yourself. Get in the habit of embracing who you are. Get in the habit of just loving on yourself. That's it. Just get in the habit of just tapping into that person within, because the person within will guide you, will give you the strength and the courage you need to achieve whatever it is you desire. So I would say spend time with yourself, just like we go on to Google or whatever different sites on the website or online, and we type in questions we have. How do I do this? How do I do that? And it gives you the answer. Ask yourself the questions. What is it look like to live at the highest version of myself? What am I suppressing? What am I afraid of? What am I running into? Get in the habit of spending time with yourself. The declaration and everything else that you need and want, the answers will come to you. You have to listen though, and you have to be obedient. That's the thing. You may not get the answer you want, but you have to be obedient.
Oh, it's so good. And I just want to add, when you say you might not get the answer you want, it's not like you're going to get a bad assignment. It's just there might be some courage that's required to get to the person that you are being called to be. But there's not like, oh, Wendy gets to have a chateau in France, but you have to live in a van down by the river. Like, it's not like those are not the choices when you check in with yourself. It's never going to be a bad thing, but it might take, well, it will take inspired action and courage, which confidence comes on the other side of courage, to move in the direction of where you're being called. Because if you were already there, you wouldn't be having the conversation with your future self because you would be her.
Right. And you call them growth opportunities. The last point that I'll make, you get a choice. You get to choose. We all get to choose. You can decide whether life challenges are going to define you or refine you. A lot of times
Mm,
what happens with us, we're being redirected and we think we're being held back because we're being moved away from situations that no longer serve us, right? So we can be prepared to move to that next level. And that's what elevation is all about.
oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to say, I'll write it on a big note. Eva preaches at us.
There you go. And I'm
And I,
embracing all of it. Yes.
right, it's so good. And we're grateful for it. Oh my word. Please tell everyone where they can find and follow you and just be in your energy more.
Yes. Just go to evamkennedy.com. That's my website, evamkennedy.com. And I am so grateful, Wendy, and I'm looking forward to what this year holds for all of us because 2026 is the elevation era.
Mm, yes, it is. Thank you so much for your time. I cannot wait to chat again.
Thank you. I appreciate you.